welcome to Garage Talk Unwrapped, episode 3.
In this episode, we're with Automechanika at their International Women's Day event in Birmingham. We hear from Jeremy from Rowe Oil, and we also have a feature with Standox. With so much to pack in, let's get started. First up is Louise Baker. Louise, I'm going to ask you how to say it properly for all the audience out there. Womanic.
Womanic. Womanic.
Perfect. And it's International Women's Day. Massive part of the UK now. And also the automotive industry must take days like this on board because we have to improve diversity in the industry, don't we?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's changing anyway. I think it's just a little bit at a slower pace. But I think we just need to embrace more women, no matter whether it's hands-on, marketing, advertising, events, whatever it is. Yeah.
And it's so important these days in the automotive industry to appeal to the female population because they make a lot of the purchasing decisions, don't they, in the household?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you say that, but I do think men do have, you know what, we need to just do it so that it's 50-50.
Yeah.
It's not more men or more women or, vice versa. It just needs to be, we do everything together, so no one's more superior to anybody else. So if, like in my household, it's just me and my daughter, so I am going to make all the choices, so that's really easy. But like in my mum and dad's household, it's 50-50,
And we've got things like the 30% Automotive Club and Women's Automotive Network now, which is slowly drifting it towards equality. But we're not there, are we? We're not getting there yet.
No, I think in a corporate sense, I do think we're moving on quite quickly. But on a manual sense, so like what I do, in a garage, working on the spanners, getting dirty, that's where we need to make improvements and more steps into a skilled trade. Welding, fabrication. There's not enough women that do that sort of thing. Why?
Well, that's the question, is why, and we have to go back to where the root of it all is education, isn't it?
It all stems from schools. I do a lot of school STEM days and a lot of talks, and so I try to let students see automotive as a stepping stone, something to get into, because it opens so many different directions. Not only do I work on the spanners during the day, but I've done TV, I've done radio, I've travelled with the automotive industry. It opens so many different scopes, and I think when you speak to students and show them the options and the future that they can have, they're like, what? I'm like, you could go into Formula One. Do you know what I mean? It'd be wicked. Anything. It gives you so many different directions. And I just think students and young people need to see it as an option. It was never given to me as an option, although petrol runs through my veins and I've always been into cars, I've had car clubs, you name it. But my teachers never says to me, why don't you do your hobby as a career? Why wasn't that put to me? Because otherwise, I'm 42 now. I could be well away, I could have retired by now doing what I do. But I started late because I only later on realised that it was an option.
And of course, today we're at the Women's Automotive Network for International Women's Day in Birmingham, and it's so great to see so much positivity in the room and so many influential people out of the automotive market that are ladies.
It's really good because we support each other. So it's like, when they say it's a networking opportunity, it's not. It's more like we coach each other and we encourage each other, and we all come from different experiences and different backgrounds, but the one common thing that brings us together is the trade, and that's really nice because I can talk to my best friends that I've known for like 30 years, but they don't understand it as well. I think unless you work in the trade or you have it in your blood like we do, it's just like a mutual understanding, and it's really nice to speak to people that are on your level.
Yeah, that's it.
It's encouraging.
Conversations. We have to start the conversations. I think the key now is that these conversations need to happen in the schools, from the first primary schools, secondary schools. Not going out and hammering the message home, but just softly, this is what you can achieve. One great believer that Vicky and me are with my daughters is that they can do what they want.
Yep.
Never say no.
That's what I say. I've got a 9-year-old daughter, and she was saying, "What am I going to be?" I'm like, "You could fly a plane if you want to." And she's like, "But you get fighter pilots, and they're all men." No, they're not. You can do anything you want to do. It doesn't matter. There's no gender. If you want to do something and you've got a passion and a desire to do well, and that's what you want to do, why can't you do it? There's nothing stopping you apart from yourself. And I think, and it wasn't until I was like 40 that I realised that the only barrier is you. there's nobody else. And if you can encourage people around you and get support from around you, they'll feed that energy and you'll move in the direction that you need to go in.
Perceptions.
Totally.
And if you want to know how to get into the industry, come to the UK Garage and Body Shop event where I know you'll be promoting. You'll be there doing lots and lots of things to show people what they can achieve. That's what they need to be doing, is show them what they can achieve. Yeah, and we need to get into schools as well. Like you said, yesterday I was in a well-known Birmingham private school, and I was telling they were all girls that I was speaking to, and they wanted to get into engineering, and I was like, this is just so good. Like, you don't understand how great this is. And now, from the talk I was doing, it was only a 40-minute talk, and they've decided to go into mechanical engineering. Like, I was like, that's wicked. One of them was crying. Like, she was just so absorbed. And I just got really good feedback from it, but people will feed off my energy, and I think, and because I'm so passionate about what I do, it's contagious. So I give it out. So tell people what you do. I am a mechanic. I do MOTs, general repairs, diagnostics and servicing, and I do free collection and delivery within a 20-minute radius of where I am. So I do a lot of teachers, NHS. I'm the person you see when I pick up your car. I do the repair, and I'm the person you see when I take it back. So I'm the person you see when you book it in as well. It's all me. Yeah. So and people love that. It's a little. We do need to go back to basics. It's a personal touch. People love that, a little bit of personal touch. You don't go into a garage full of guys that maybe they don't know because they're just not well trained enough, or two, they're going to mind boggle them with big words, and three, it can be quite intimidating, especially if you don't. It's like me walking into a hairdresser's asking me for different colour hair colours and haircuts. I'm not a hairdresser. Yeah. That's your job. You tell me what look good on me, and then I'll believe you. And it's the same as a woman walking into a garage. But what you don't want is them to tell them the wrong thing and to point them in the wrong direction. The more women you get on board, and the more women you get, portrayed on social media, the more encouraging it is for other women to come into the trade, no matter which direction they want to go in. Keep going. Thanks. Keep pushing that message. Thanks, and you keep going too, because you're great. And we'll see you at UK Garage and Body Shop event. Woo-hoo. I'll be there. Cheers, Louise. Thank you. Thank you.
For tools and machinery, come to Machine Mart. Experts in our 65 superstores help you choose from the vast range, including air compressors, tool chests, stoves, welders, generators, water pumps, heaters, power tools, and much, much more. Or just order by phone or online. Look out for our money-saving special offers. Our free catalogue contains hundreds of price cuts and great new products. Or visit our website with thousands more specialist products in Machine Mart Extra. Shop in-store, online, or call.
And now we speak with Sophie from Fresh Drivers UK. Sophie, we meet at last. We've had many conversations, haven't we?
We have, yes.
How's things at Fresh Drivers?
Yeah, really good actually. It's gone from kind of starting off campaigning for road safety to a whirlwind of content creation and being here, there and everywhere, so it's been really good.
Obviously, here today at Women's International Day for the Women's Automotive Network. How important is this to the industry?
for me and for the industry, I think it's very important just because we are a minority. Obviously, with Fresh Drivers UK, that's just what I do on the side, but predominantly I am at my family business, which is the garage. So for me, representing women and seeing so many women getting together, it shows that we aren't a minority and there actually is so many of us. And we all get to talk about the different issues which are very similar that we have, especially not being probably taken serious because we're a woman and that kind of thing. So it's very important that we're all together today.
But the industry is now catching itself up because there's such a skill gap where many of those skills could have been filled by females.
Yeah, 100%. I think a lot of women don't necessarily look at coming into this industry because they don't think that they belong here. When realistically, it is such a good industry. There's so many different opportunities that women can fill, and I just love it. It's my industry. I just love it. I try and get as many people into it as I can.
Well, that's why we have the magazine. That's why we talk to good people like yourself. Is that it's a massive industry, and it's not just about what people see when they take the car in. There's a load of other elements to the industry that keeps it ticking, isn't there?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like you say, you go to see the garage, but there's so many people behind the scenes. There's all the different journalists, there's the different scientists who think of all the different compounds for tyres, and there's just so many different interesting jobs that people can do. And I think people just focus on it's dirty, it's grubby, and you're a mechanic, when there's so many different things you can do.
But it's the burst of social media influencers like such as yourself that start to educate people, and we need to educate them a lot younger than they have been, don't we?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, my aim, I have a 5-year-old boy, and we talk about road safety, we talk about the garage, he fits tyres with the staff at work and everything, and I think getting into them that age and teaching them that this is an industry that you can be really successful, because I mean, there's some mechanics out there that get paid a lot of money, and I think teaching them from a young age that this industry, you don't have to be not able to read or write or not really understand things. You can be really intelligent and still work in this industry. So like you said, it's getting it into them as young as we can so that they decide to have an opportunity in the motor industry.
It is, you're right, and of course it's also about keeping them interested. It's not just that initial interest, because we can all watch a Formula 1 race and be impressed. We can all watch, things of speed, the Grand Tour, etc. It's keeping people interested in realistic things in the industry, isn't it?
It is, and I think sometimes it's quite a hard thing to do because we get sometimes we get a bad name, sometimes people want to work in this industry, so I think sometimes it's difficult, but I guess we all need to learn new ways of how to keep people involved and keep people interested, and that'll be the way forward for this industry.
And obviously social media is a massive part of that, isn't it?
Yes, I love social media. It's my baby at the moment. I never used to really enjoy it. I used to think that you kind of faked who you were on there, but now I've learned that just from me being me, I mean, I've got ADHD, I've got dyslexia, I'm neurodivergent, so I kind of just be myself on my videos. Any video you do see of me is just me being me, unless I've got my phone voice on. But other than that, I think people genuinely like to see a female who works in a garage, who's talking about different issues and stuff, and I think it's worked really well for me anyway. And I think anybody who's in the social media game that works in this industry, you should persevere with it because it brings so many different opportunities.
How have you overcome all those? How have you had the strength to persist?
I think it took me quite a lot. I've had 2 babies, so I think after my second child, I kind of picked myself up off the floor because I think postnatal depression and everything got me really badly. And I think since then I kind of learned to love myself again, love what I'm doing, kind of love the fact I have these differences to other people and just use them as I have a really kind of big imagination, I have all these great ideas, and I've just learned to use them and create all the stuff that I've been doing, and it's worked very well. So.
But now you're using that to your advantage, aren't you? And obviously it's taking you further forward than you probably ever imagined previously.
Yeah, I mean, I've built up some really good relationships with people in the industry who straight away I say, by the way, I've got ADHD and I'm kind of like a whirlwind, but if you think one of my ideas is good, please can you help me progress it? And that's how we ended up with my road safety initiative, Safe Street. My friend Ollie Samways, me and him together, we've built this amazing road safety initiative which creates free events for people to learn about our trade, learn about road safety, and also it brought me into making videos. Sometimes I thought I was just talking rubbish, but people actually really like them. So I think learning to work with people with ADHD and neurodivergence and actually listening to what they're saying, sometimes you pick different things of what they're interested in, and that's how you create something really good, and I think that's what's happened with me. So yeah, not to big myself up or anything.
No, I think you've proved there is no barrier to the industry.
Yeah.
And so Tell us more about Fresh Drivers.
So Fresh Drivers UK came about when, in about 2018, I didn't do anything with it because I found out I was pregnant, so I just kind of pushed it to the side. And then 5 years later, I had 2 children. Decided I wanted to start doing everything again, and we had a car crash outside the garage, and it was due to a distracted driver. Me and my husband were first on scene, and he has since then become a firefighter, and I've started campaigning for road safety. So the car crash outside the garage has led us both onto different avenues of things. Obviously I still work at the garage, but my sideline is raising awareness to how tyre defects could lead you to cause a fatality with your vehicle, how not maintaining your vehicle and not giving the preventative maintenance that it needs could lead you to having a crash, or could lead you to crashing into somebody else, or just having the inconvenience of high bills, i.e. garage anxiety. So it's just raising awareness to all these different things that come down to people being negligent towards the vehicles, and it's led me to work with different agencies like the fire service, the police, the ambulance, and it's just, the main aim of it is to provide education to any age, especially young drivers, so that they can kind of understand what to expect when they're driving, what to expect when they start, using the highways and so on, and also just to bridge that gap that we seem to have at the moment, because there is a lack of education with road safety and tyre safety. So it's just being somebody who's relatable, young still, I guess, and being that person that they can watch the Instagram videos and TikTok videos and be like, okay, she said that this is what this means, this is what this means. So my aim is just to basically help people keep safe, and if what I do stops one person from being killed on our roads, then I've achieved at least one thing I've set out to do.
Well, since we've had initial contact, we've found you an inspiration to a lot of people, and hopefully we keep on sharing your videos, you keep on educating people, and we wish you the very, very best with it.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And now we speak with Mark from the IAAF. Mark, with the International Women's Day Automotive Network event, what a fantastic turnout.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And I was thinking on the way in actually when I was walking in here, I thought, isn't it fantastic that we've got events like this that celebrate women in the automotive industry? Obviously my side of the market is the automotive aftermarket, and the work that we're trying to do even as a trade federation, to increase the number of females in roles in the automotive industry, the automotive aftermarket, and also within our events as well. You've been to some of our events. We're really trying to sort of increase the gender balance, working with lots of different people within the trade, and my whole aim about everything is to try and open people's mind to new ways of thinking, and I think that's where it's really that's where once you do that and you see different perspectives and you open yourself up, your businesses will be better, you'll be better. So that's what I'm really sort of behind.
And of course, there's recruitment issues within the industry. We're all aware of those. If we open our minds even more, we'll have more choice of people, won't we, in general? And that's why the Women's Automotive Network is vital to that.
There's a massive problem at the moment, and I think it's perceptions, it's how we recruit, how we go about onboarding people, how we go about with the maintaining good people, keep looking after good people. And we're doing some work with that as well. We've got some training that we're doing. And again, for me personally, or for me as a chief executive of IAAF, it's about looking at the whole automotive supply chain and saying, right, there are many, hundreds, if not thousands of roles that people can enjoy. So why don't we look to promote that and the careers that you can have?
And in your company impression, you're a massive advocate of female influence. In fact, you have a huge crew here today.
Yeah.
And your business is flourishing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's fantastic, and again, it's these new ideas, this new way of thinking, and it's positive. It adds different perspectives into the business. But more than that, we're that side of it is doing so many great things. Obviously, I'm more involved in IAAF, and Kayleigh and the team are working tremendously hard. So yeah, it's fantastic.
And the IAAF now, obviously joined up with the Automotive, the Exec Club, the Automotive Network. How far away are we though, Mark? Still a massive way to go.
Oh, huge. I mean, I committed to the magic figure of sort of 30% gender balance. And when actually you look at our dinner, and again, it's not something where, and I thought about it a few years ago, it's not something where I want to go in and go, right, we're all wrong, we need to be doing it this way. Again, it's about opening up minds and hearts even. But I've sort of committed to increasing the gender balance within our own events, particularly our dinner, which is quite male dominated. Last year we achieved, I think, the highest number of females, so we're going to keep pushing that forward, and hopefully that we get we get more inclusivity in the aftermarket.
Where do we start though? Education?
I think in some respects, you know, I was speaking to Women Automotive Network. It's about opening up the minds and saying, well, actually, we're all in this together. So I think there is if you can make a 1% difference each time towards this positive inclusion, then actually you're going some way. And I think that what we have to do is just take these little steps and go, right, let's just open ourselves up to this different way of thinking. And it's not just about the gender balance, that's a key part of it, but there are so many other ways where we go, let's just think different. And I always cite this book called Rebel Ideas, which is about actually just challenging the way that you think and how you operate, and that's really where I want to push the move at IAAF and the automotive aftermarket.
One thing I've noticed today, there's a lot of male influencers in the industry here as well, supporting the Automotive Network. That's key, isn't it? Because we need the two genders to be joined together, working together, don't we? Yeah, absolutely. And the people I meet, and I was thinking, I've launched something this week or recently, that carpool aftermarket, and it's great. And myself and Louise, we get on extremely well, and it's great to sort of listen to everyone's story. And when you look at inspirational women, at our conference we had Callum. Fantastic, and I've immediately become friends with her. We're supporting her in a 10k, and again, just changing these perceptions, just thinking about it. And I think, I'm happy to support it in every way I can, and hopefully we'll continue to do that. So, in fact, I'll make sure we will. Well, we've got to. There's no other way around it. Otherwise, we're not going to grow as an industry. Yeah, it has to, doesn't it? I think it's. I'm always a fan of. Well, I'm always a heartful person, so I like to think that we are making strides forward. Sometimes the rate in which that happens
can not be as quick as you would like. I have that same view at what we're doing, that I'd like things to move quicker. Sometimes you have to get the infrastructure in place, or you have to get things in place for you to move at the pace. So we're heading in the right direction.
Let's hope the whole industry follows you, Mark. Let's hope we continue on this journey.
Brilliant, thank you.
Cheers, Mark.
Hi, I'm Alistair Hobbs of Human Results, HR and Employment Law Consultancy. We pride ourselves in providing pragmatic, bespoke commercial advice for all of your employment law needs.
And now to the interview with Jeremy from Rowe Oil. So Jeremy, at Autosport International, making a splash, how's it been?
It's been amazing. It's been so busy today. I arrived at about 8:30 this morning and I have not come up for air all day. It's great. And there's a real interest about what we're doing here.
What are you doing here?
Well, every product that comes out of Germany is manufactured sustainably. So that's like a big tick in the box as far as making changes that are environmentally friendly, but also we're developing a number of plant-based, renewable, sustainable products. And the BMW behind me, that's run for 2 seasons now on 100% plant-based engine and gearbox oil. It's the only car out of that entire grid for 2 years that has completed every single race at every single circuit. So there's a bit of reliability in there as well. But we have to make some changes. The world is changing. If we don't make changes, someone might get a big red pen out and draw a line through motor racing.
Yeah.
And we don't want that to happen. And yes, the electric car is here, the electric car is developing, but even when 2035 happens, there will still be a lot of petrol and diesel cars on the road. So we're looking at ways to ensure that those cars can be run in a sustainable, environmentally friendly way going forwards as far as lubrication, coolants, greases are concerned.
So you're actually moving forward at a rate by looking back at the past.
I mean, one of the interesting things is that when Rowe opened their factory as a sustainable factory, it was the first of its kind. And at the moment, within Europe, I don't know about the rest of the world, but within Europe, it is a one of a kind. And it's a bold statement to make.
Yeah.
Obviously, a lot of expense involved in it. But it's, again, if we don't make these changes, we'll be forced to make changes. So there are other ways of doing things, and it's really exciting watching the developments. I mean, strangely, plant-based lubricants perform much better in 99% of applications than a conventional polyalpha olefin wood based. So yeah, it's exciting changes.
And of course, also Jeremy, you're supplying classic cars as well, aren't you? As we can see from over the other side of the stand.
Yes, so we partnered up with Grant Williams with his wonderful Mark 1 Jag, which, I mean, it's everybody's favourite at Goodwood, it's everybody's favourite at Carfest. We've had a lot of inquiries about developing an oil for the classic racing sector. Now, we won't be launching that as a plant-based product, but we will be developing as a plant-based product, which will be launched probably next year. We'll be developing a conventional, regular 2050, but a very high zinc content, which a lot of these old engines require. And we get asked on a regular basis, can you develop this? Can you develop this? So we bit the bullet and said, yep, okay, we're going to do it. So we will have, probably by the end of March, we'll have a new race oil specifically for the classic car sector.
Now, when these cars were built, they weren't built with plant-based oil in mind, were they? So what else has got to happen to the vehicle?
Well, a plant-based oil or a conventional, you don't have to change anything within the engine. They operate in a very similar way to each other. So one of the advantages of the plant-based road oils that we will be bringing out in the near future is that you can run those in an engine that's been running a mineral, a semi-synthetic or a fully synthetic. So, and there's no requirement to modify anything on the engine or do anything on the engine. It's literally, you just replace one with the other.
And that's important, isn't it? Because obviously the market is huge and you're literally touching every base of that market.
Trying to. Yes. I mean, we know that we are a premium brand. We are more expensive than some other brands. We're about performance. That's, the base of what we do is about performance. Yes, we sustainably manufacture. Yes, we're developing plant-based products, but it is all at that premium performance end of the market. When you look at, if we're here at Autosport, so as far as the race oils are concerned, it's all about protecting your investment. So some race engines are incredibly expensive, and we have a product that means that you can look after that investment going forwards. And in the scheme of things, the cost of the oil is very, very small compared to the cost of the amount of fuel that you're running or indeed building the engine.
So where's the future lie? Obviously, you've mentioned a couple of things moving forward from March onwards. Where's Rowe looking at long term?
So long term, we're looking at not just the petrol-powered sector, because Rowe manufacture coolants as well as engine oil, gearbox oil, brake fluids, greases. So we're looking at, as far as the aftermarket's concerned, we're looking at being able to satisfy each sector within the aftermarket, be it an engine oil, a gearbox oil, or a coolant, and coolants for electric vehicles, and making sure that we're always keeping ahead of the curve.
And that's vital, isn't it, at the moment, is keeping ahead of the curve, and knowing where the curve is, of course, with things changing.
Yes, I mean, the market's changing, and when it changes and everybody starts getting ready for a change and then it changes again. So yes, there's a lot of change going on within the automotive industry, and we want to be involved in that, and it's exciting. And I'm a great believer in talking to your customers, finding out what they want, not just about product, but about service as well. So one of the things that I'm very keen to do is to be able to offer a great service that our customers want, be it a regular service workshop or a race team. Problem is with race teams is when they run out of something, they need it yesterday.
Yeah.
So I do a lot of running around the countryside, help! And I'm like in the car and sorting things out. But you've got to listen to your customers. You've got to develop your business around your customers and ask them what they need and then deliver that.
Well, I think the key to today's conversation is you're taking it forward into the cleaner world, but actually servicing vehicles that are from a year ago. So
absolutely, yes. I mean, the classic car market in the UK is unlike any classic car market on the planet. And it's a case of understanding that and being able to deliver solutions to problems, really.
For tools and machinery, come to Machine Mart. Experts in our 65 superstores help you choose from the vast range, including air compressors, tool chests, stoves, welders, generators, water pumps, heaters, power tools, and much, much more. Or just order by phone or online. Look out for our money-saving special offers. Our free catalogue contains hundreds of price cuts and great new products. Or visit our website with thousands more specialist products in Machine Mart Extra. Shop in-store, online, or call.
And now back to the Automechanika event in Birmingham. Joe from Automechanika.
Hi.
How are you? How's things?
Yeah, good.
You've obviously just moved to Automechanika.
Yeah.
Just at a busy time as the UK Garage and Body Shop event's coming up. How have you found it?
Yeah, no, it's been really good. So I've come from exhibition background, but I've not ever worked in an automotive one. So the learning the automotive industry is quite tricky. There's a lot to learn. There's a lot of acronyms in this as well, like that's quite tricky. But no, it's been really good, and the industry is really welcoming.
And how are things looking for the June show, which obviously is on the horizon?
Yeah, really good. We're 85% booked. We've got quite a lot of the features that we've done before. They're being evolved and tightened, and we've also introduced a detailing feature to the show as well, so specific for the detailing sector. So it should be good.
And we're here at the Women's Automotive Network event for International Women's Day. How have you found the industry from a female perspective?
There's not a lot of females in the industry, and coming from obviously exhibitions, I think it's probably more females in the exhibition industry. But yeah, I think I learned a stat the other day. There's 19% of the automotive workforce is female. So I think events like today are really important to obviously bring the community together and encourage more women to come into the industry as well.
And of course, you'll be incorporating things like the Women's Automotive Network and the 30% Club into the show, won't you, yourself?
Yeah, we also have a Women in Automotive drinks at the event as well. And we're trying to encourage more females to come through and speak at the event and really kind of get that better balance of the representation.
And it's important that we obviously educate people about the amount of roles in the industry, and the best way of doing that is by getting people together at the NEC, isn't it?
Yeah, I think the NEC is a really good point for it as well, because obviously it's really central. There's quite a lot of the automotive sector that's from here, so it should be good.
And it's only the prelude to the big show next year, Joe. Are you looking forward to first Automechanika?
I am looking forward to it, but I just need to get this one out of the way and then move on from there.
Brilliant. Well, thanks for joining us today, Joe. That's great.
Thanks, thank you.
So Kayleigh from Glen, Callum Associates. We're here at International Women's Day Women's Automotive Network event. How important is this for the industry?
Very important. I think historically our industry has always been very male dominated. It's great to be here and see all the women that are in our industry. So yeah, it's massively important that we celebrate the diversity across our industry and we encourage it to continue to grow.
One thing I've noticed as well is that there's male support here today as well. You know, it's great to see that a lot of industry leaders are here supporting this event, because there is a shortage of skills in the industry, isn't there?
Yeah,
there's a massive skill gap at the moment.
Yeah.
And obviously that's where Glen Callum comes in, isn't it? So the message has to go out from everybody.
Yeah, it's got to come from everybody, and I think we've got a lot of senior male directors in our industry. They have to encourage that their companies look to fix the skills gap, and the female population can help us to do that. So yeah, I think it's massively important to see all the men here today.
And if we're honest, the female contribution to the industry has been far, far undervalued, hasn't it, over time?
Absolutely. I think when people think of automotive, they think of underneath a car, fixing vehicles, which is clearly shouldn't be, but is a male-dominated part of the industry. But there's lots of other roles in our industry as well that can really suit the skills that women can bring. Yeah, I think we've got to get into the schools and we've got to talk about what the different types of roles in our industry and how you can get into the industry and work your way up and spread your footprint within it.
And that's where you come in, isn't it? Because you can guide people. Recruitment these days is not the old, I've got somebody's CV, there's the job. It's about moulding them, getting the right people, getting the right jobs for them, isn't it? It's more of a...
Yeah, we're a full 360 service, and that's not just to our clients, that's to candidates as well. So careers advice, CVs advice, interview advice, even down to what skills do you have you thought about these types of roles? So yeah, definitely that's where we can come in and help people to mould and shape their careers.
Brilliant. And what does it mean for Glen Callum to see all the support of the female population in the ring?
It's great. I mean, as a business, we're more than 50% women, which is just incredible for the automotive sector. So it's nice to be able to be here and represent the women in the industry.
We are at Garage Talk. There's only two of us, so that's quite easy. No, brilliant. Thank you for talking to us.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now to the paint feature with Standox. Next month, we have more from the Automechanika event in Birmingham. We'll also have a day out with eBay. So be sure to hit the subscribe button and we'll see you next month.